a little bit fold here on the sleeve, and I'll just add a little bit more detail on the front here. That's it, just to have some more information, right? So because we're using a multi-resolution modifier, you could actually bake. You don't need the copy, but that's the way we're learning. It's very important that you understand the topology that you have in a low poly, a high poly. Then from the high poly, you do topology, yeah, and when you need it. In this case, we won't need it because we still have the low poly here, right? And using a multi-resolution, I could just come back here to 0. Uh, 0. Yeah, and you still see the low poly. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. I'm just gonna put it what it is, and the viewport 4. Right. So we are learning high poly, low poly. So there you go. We have a high poly, and I still have a copy of my low poly anyway, even though I could just put this to 0, I would have my low poly, but I want to bake from one to the other. So let's go back to, let's go to our UV editing. So my UV edit is there. So the UVs are nicely laid out. Remember, you need to have your UVs laid out. And the next thing I need to do is to add, let's go to shading, and I'm going to add a material for our character. So let's see, I have here high poly, high and low. So this is going to be my low. I'm going to add a material for our low poly. So just remove this one, and I'm going to add a new one, and then call it Ninja material. Okay, so that is my material there. Okay, remember, I need to create, just put this up. I need to create a normal map node, which I'm going to connect to my normal, and I need to then add image texture, which is the image that I will be baking, yeah, my normal map. So search image texture. There you go. Then I connect these guys first, and I connect there. So my image, I'm going to create a new image because that's going to be an image that's going to be baked. So I will call Ninja Normal. Remember, I'm going to make a 2K map, 2048 by 2048, 2K map, and I want it to be okay, and I want this non-color because I don't want any color information. So that is the normal for my ninja. Right, so now I need to then come here, and I want to actually see my ninja normal, so which is now black. There's no image baked there. So I'm going to go to my ninja high, ninja low. So what I'm going to do, I need to go to my text render settings. Is it render settings here? Yeah. And then I remember, if you're in Eve, you need to go to cycles in order to bake. So cycles, and go down to bake, right? And bake type, I want normal map. I want to bake the normal, and select to active. Let's see if is it the high and the low, or is it the low and the high? We're going to find out in a minute. Select active, extrusion, just put 0.1. and let's see what happens. We're gonna go and have a bake, and it's baking. You can see down here it's baking, right? I think I accidentally stopped the bake. There you go. Yeah, so it would take a couple of minutes. Doesn't seem to be baking for me. Let's try that. It is baking. It's down here. So it's gonna take a couple of minutes. So I will stop the video. See, 20 seconds. I will just stop the video now, and then I'll come back in a minute when it's finished. This is my normal map. It's not that good, but there's some artifacts I can see here. Let me just go to my texture paint mode. So you can see here there's some artifacts going on here. We want your normal map to be mostly purple. But what you can do, you can paint a few things here. So I can come here and select the color. Let's say select this color with the big color. So that is my blend. It's just normal mix. Shall I put value? No, it's a mix. Okay. And then this area here is a bit weird, as you can see. So I can actually paint that. See if I can paint. Don't know why it's coming out lighter. It shouldn't be lighter. So I'm picking that color. I want to paint this color, and I don't know why it's coming like this. So, but you can see it's smoothing out that bit a little bit. So yeah, so you can paint, can smooth out those colors, right? And or you can try to add, you get artifacts like that. You can come to baking. See, there's some stuff here. You can paint it out. You can come down to your texture, sorry, shading. Come back to your baking bit, and you can try an extrusion different. This I put 0.6. I think I had put 0.1. I try a few ones. So ideally, really, in order to have a good bake, we would separate this object, separate the hands from the clothes, and that's what we're going to do for baking in Substance Painter, which is going to be our next lesson. So in order to see how this is looking, I think I'm going to add here an environment texture. See how this is looking, because I really cannot see very well at the moment. So environment texture, and I think I'm going to add a mapping. And let me just go and open an environment texture. You should have an HDRI image. I have one somewhere. HDRI. Okay, so let me just go to Documents, Resources. have one here somewhere. HDRI, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna get don't know what that one is. Let's just bring it in, and I need to connect and connect. Can I just, and I have to come to my viewport shading. There you go. And now I can see what this normal map is doing. So if I go back to my object and I remove my normal, yeah, so that is, let's just put some, this is my character without, just change the color here a little bit so it's not so white. Okay, and then if I add my normal map, you can see more of the details. Okay, you can appreciate better here, so you can see those folds. And then if I remove the normal map, as you can see, that's just flat. So this is the right way, so you can have a really good detail on your low poly mesh ready for a game, yeah, with a normal map. And yeah, we can solve these artifacts. You can paint them. You can paint it here or in Photoshop, remove those bits, or you can try to bake again. Ideally, you would separate the head from the hands and so on. So I'm going to do that because you know how to do it. And then the next lesson is show you how to do the same baking process using Substance Painter. Right? But the key is, if you don't have Substance Painter, if you don't have the license, it's quite costly. So what I'm showing you, that you can do everything here in Blender. You can also come to now to your texture paint, and let's just create. You can start painting your character. So let me just go and create. Go to shading mode, and if I create a new texture map, image texture, sorry, a new image texture, and I put it in my base color. Oh, sorry, I put a magic texture. Oh, interesting. So we don't want the magic texture, so add image texture. Here you go. And then put it there. And I create a new, it's pink now because there's nothing in my image. So I create Ninja Color. I leave as a 248 map and want color in this one, and I can see here Ninja Color. So now I can come to my texture paint, and again, you can paint using the, let me just go back to UV editing. You can do that. You can actually paint here. Using your texture painting, yeah, so you can come here, because now, because it's all in one mesh, it's more difficult to paint. I would again separate them. So if I come to edit mode, if I know what this one, I think this one is this bit, so yeah, it's much better to separate really, but in order to just to demonstrate, you can come to my texture paint and choose a color. Let's choose a kind of brownish color for his, and then come and paint here. So F. So I know that this is his clothing here. Yeah. I could use masks. I could mask everything else, but I prefer to work like separate everything, and then start painting. Yeah. So, and that would be the back, and so on. What is interesting here is this hand is on the top. So I'm not very happy with this UV because the hand shouldn't be on the top. Because if I paint now, the hand will have that color. So something that you need to be aware. You might need to move then your hand from your, you will have to move the hand from the top of your clothing. So anyway, for now I'm just painting that, because obviously now my hands are going to be brown. See? Yeah. Okay, so, and then let's say the face is there, and now if I'm going to paint the face color, kind of skin color here, if I paint there, yeah. Maybe I add, don't know, shall I go for kind of reddish color? Yeah. So you can see, you need to know what is your, what is what here. So this, I can see that this is the mouth, the mask, and this is the face, and that's the clothing. So if I go there to that and I paint that, see the colors changing. Yeah. So anyway, that is one way of doing this. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna stop the video here now, and in the next lesson we take this ninja to Substance Painter. So what I'm going to do now that I would like you to do is to separate. So the head, perhaps separate the hand, and give some texture map. Yeah, so let's go back here, go back there. So create texture sets, okay, like you learned last week. So just a quick demonstration. I'm going to select one vertex, one face, and then I go here, select linked, and then from there I come and create my texture paint. Where is it? That one. Vertex group, and I call that hat. Well, it's not hat, but you know, I'm just calling hats. So and assign. Yeah, and I would separate this. So I'll come here and a separate selection. Okay. Remember to rename properly now. So you have to come and rename. So this is called Ninja Hat underscore low. Keep adding low underscore low. Yeah, and I'm gonna call also, actually this is the hat. So Ninja Hat. So this is the Ninja low. And I'm going to separate now the hands and so on, and I'm going to apply my texture maps, my vertex vertex groups here, and apply a material for each of them and get ready for substance beta like you did in the other exercise. All right, so I see you in the next video.